In our last episode, we made it back to Mexico, and after a handful of days of working in the yard, we got our floating home floating again. This time around, we head back to sea and start our journey south. Been back in the water for a couple of days now, floating, which is great. But for the last couple of days, all we've been doing really is getting the boat put back together and livable after being on the hard for 4 months. Got to put all the sails up, run all the lines, blah, blah, blah. When we were up in the States, we ordered a bunch of little odds and ends for the boat, little parts that you can't get down here very easily, and brought them back with us. And some of the stuff we got really isn't boat parts. I got these reading glasses because I'm getting old. I can't see anymore. One of the things that's going on right now, the water maker crapped out because of this little needle valve. Can't dial in the pressure, but I can't see that anymore. I gotta wear these reading glasses so I could see it. And last night I had to rebuild the carburetor because that didn't run anymore. I couldn't see that either. Got these though. Nothing makes me feel older than wearing reading glasses. That's today's project. Try to get the water maker going. Just trying to clean it up, make it usable until I can get a new one. Haven't found one anywhere in Mexico yet. And while I was working on the water maker, Brenda and Molly, well, they were out trying to catch us some dinner.
How's it going, Molly?
It's going great. I caught one and I lost it. So I'm working on my next one.
We're out fishing. The boys are sleeping, so we have to do all the work. The fog is rolling in fast.
I didn't know we were going to need radar on our fishing trip. We did go pretty far, didn't we?
Yeah. We were fishing out there, but it got pretty foggy. And the wind picked up, so we came in for protection.
And our motor wasn't working.
A lot happened on our trip.
A lot.
But it was good. Molly did catch a fish. That's the most important part.
Got away.
That's all right.
They always get away.
That's why they call it fishing and not catching.
You're right.
We'd already been to every hydraulic shop in town looking for a new needle valve with no luck. So we decided to tag along with Molly and Ben, head into Guaymas, and give one last place a shot. And even though the Home Depot was a long shot for us, Molly and Ben got just what they needed. Ben's got some wood in public.
Just poured some wood, sure.
Well, the water maker's back together, but the needle valve doesn't work. The good news though, that we found a place in La Paz that has a bunch of them, so we just got to get to La Paz, which from here is about 2.5 days away if we just sailed straight, but that's not really what we want to do. So we're going to head out tomorrow. We've got a good weather forecast, and we'll just start making our way to La Paz. We'll pick up the parts we need for the water maker, and that'll be that. Right, heading out of here. Kind of excited. Been in San Carlos for 4 or 5 days now, something like that. And the water anyways. And now we're leaving. It's pretty cool. Gonna head to La Paz and pick up some parts, see some friends. It's gonna be great. Now if we went to La Paz straight from here, it's 2.5 days or so, but we're gonna make a few stops along the way. There was a few places we wanted to see last year, but weather didn't really let us. So, I'm gonna try to see those on our way south, and that'll be that. All right, we're back at sea. We're heading to Isla San Carmen from San Carlos. It's about 36 hours or so to get there from where we started. We left San Carlos a few hours ago and motored for a couple hours out of there. And the wind picked up, which is great. But, I gotta be honest here, I'm not feeling so good. I generally don't ever get seasick. But today,
Back to guacamole.
Brenda took some Bonine, like Sturgeon, something like that, just as a precaution. I didn't, maybe I should have, but yeah, I generally don't get seasick, but I also generally am not off the boat for 4 months on dry land, so got to get used to this again. Got to get my sea legs back. They're gone. But it's pretty good sailing. We've got about 15 knots or so on the stern quarter. Pretty nice and easy. We've got at least about another 24 hours to go before we get to the other side. And then it'll be land ho. Even though this would shape up to be one of the best and easiest overnight passages we've ever had, for me, it was pretty tough. What, under normal circumstances, would seem like a gentle, easy motion of the ocean, this time around, without my sea legs, it just seemed relentless. The motion, it just never stopped, not even for sunset. But the next morning, just as the sun was coming up, landfall was in sight. And thanks to our freshly painted blue bottom and a stiff breeze that blew in the mid-20s all night long, we achieved our new 24-hour speed record, 161 miles. Not too shabby. Made it to Isla Carmen. Actually got here yesterday just as the sun came up, but we were wrecked. It's kind of a rough passage, and it was actually the best passage we've had for a long time. It was good, but I didn't have my sea legs. I felt crappy. Didn't blow chunks, but came close. So yesterday we sat around all day and recuperated. Today we're going to check this island out. This has got an old abandoned salt mine, which we wanted to see last year, but this is a south anchorage. And in the summertime, all the weather comes up from the south, so this wasn't a place we could stop. But today, it's gonna happen. We're going in. And we're taking our paddle boards. And we're off.
It's like riding a bike.
Isla Carmen not only has picture-perfect white sandy beaches, it's also home to a once thriving salt mine and town that's now abandoned. In its heyday, salt from this operation was shipped around the world. But in the early 1980s, with falling prices, this place was shut down. And time, hurricanes, and all the buzzards, well, they haven't been kind. But worst of all, this place had more mosquitoes per square inch of airspace than I've seen anywhere. So, we made short work of our time on the island, and then it was back to the boat. The dinghy's not holding air. Got a little scratch right there. Patched this thing about a year ago, and it's not holding anymore. Gonna try it again. For some strange reason, 4 months away from our floating home have brought up quite a few little projects. But this one was pretty easy. With some spare Hypalon fabric, some careful prep work, and just a little bit of glue, our little dinghy, well, she'd be good as new. Gonna let that sit for a half hour. All right, the first coat sat and dried for about a half an hour. This is the second coat. Smear this around, it'll sit for about 5 minutes. And I'll put this thing together. And after sitting overnight, what do you know? She holds air. Good as new. And that's about it for this episode. Join us next time as we make our way farther south towards La Paz.